Okay, let's dive into this. We're talking about a problem that, feels all too common these days. Stumbling across a fake online profile or some sketchy website and just feeling, well, powerless. Today, we're going to flip that script. We're going to talk about how you can actually fight back.
You know that feeling, right? You land on an e-commerce site, the deals are just unbelievable. Or you see a social media profile that's a little too perfect. That little voice in your head, that gut feeling, yeah, it's usually spot on. These sites are absolutely everywhere, and they are designed for one thing: to deceive.
So, to really get a handle on this, we first have to understand what we're actually up against. Let's break down what this rogue online threat really is.
The term for these is a rogue profile or website, and it's so important to get this. This isn't just a badly made page. No. This is a deliberate, illicit operation. It has a very specific goal: to mislead you, to trash a legitimate brand's reputation, or worst-case scenario, to commit straight-up fraud.
And that is the absolute key thing to understand here. These things aren't just minor annoyances clogging up your social media feed. They are actively eating away at the trust we all need to have for the internet to work safely. They are a real, tangible threat.
So, what on earth can we actually do about it? Well, for a long time, the approach was kind of passive. Just watch and maybe report it. But that is all changing. The modern strategy is all about being proactive.
This quote just nails it. It really gets to the heart of this new way of thinking. It's no longer about waiting around for somebody else to fix the problem. It's about taking, and I quote, proactive, assertive, or offensive actions to get this junk taken down. And this slide really shows you that shift. The old way, over on the left, was passive. You'd gather intel, do some research. The new way? It's all about action, using legal remedies, pushing for direct takedowns. We are moving from just watching to actually intervening.
Now, you might be thinking, this sounds a little bit like some kind of digital Wild West, right? But it's not. It is absolutely crucial to know that every single step in this process is strictly legitimate. We're using established, legal, and corporate channels to get the job done. So, that brings us to the toolkit itself. Let's walk through the legit, effective steps anyone can take to start dismantling these rogue operations.
Think of it like a 5-pronged attack. It's a game plan. First, you go after the platform hosting the content. Then, the search engines leading people to it. Then, the financial companies processing the money, the shippers moving the goods, and finally, the official regulators.
Okay, step 1 is the most direct. You go straight to the source. Every single major platform, whether it's Instagram or an e-commerce host like Shopify, they all have reporting tools for fraud and impersonation. Why is this step 1? Because it's the fastest way to get the thing taken offline. That little report button is your first and maybe most important line of defense. Don't underestimate its power. Next up, you cut off their lifeblood, new victims. You report the fraudulent site to Google, to Bing, all of them. The goal is to get it delisted. This is so critical because most of these rogue sites completely depend on search traffic to find their next target. If people can't find the scam, well, they can't fall for it. You're essentially making them invisible.
Okay, so we've messed with their public visibility. But these next steps, this is where the strategy gets really powerful. This is where we start to disrupt their ability to actually operate as a business.
You follow the money, and you follow the packages. See, by reporting the site to the payment companies it uses, think PayPal, Stripe, Visa, you can get their accounts totally frozen. And by alerting the shipping companies they claim to use, you can just blow up their logistics. A fake store can't work if it can't get paid or pretend to ship things. These 2 steps choke them out.
So, you've hit their platform, their search traffic, their money, and their shipping. And that leads us to the final, and maybe the most powerful, layer of pressure you can apply. It's time to bring in the big guns.
This right here, this is the knockout blow. Reporting the stuff to regulatory bodies, like the Federal Trade Commission or Consumer Protection Agencies, it elevates the whole issue. It's not just a simple terms of service problem anymore. It can trigger formal investigations and real legal action that can shut down not just one website, but the entire fraudulent network behind it.
So here's the bottom line, the most crucial point. Success doesn't come from just one action. It comes from a coordinated multi-front strategy. You apply pressure on their hosting, their visibility, their finances, their logistics, and their legal standing, all at the same time. You create a situation that is just impossible for them to sustain.
Look, This toolkit gives us some incredibly powerful options right now. But it does leave us with a really big question for the future. As these scammers inevitably get smarter, and they will, as they find new ways to hide, what's the next generation of our digital takedown toolkit going to have to look like just to keep up? It's a battle that is always, always evolving.